It's 1997. You're a 6-year-old boy that's just come back from his first year of schooling. You walk in the door, you glance at the TV, and what do you see? This black console sitting down on the ground. It's a Nintendo 64 with Mischief Makers plugged into the cartridge. This is me, and I absolutely lost my mind. This is the first game that I ever owned. I was unable to beat this game as a kid, so I went back to see if I could beat it now that I'm an adult and to see if it was actually worth playing in the first place. Published in 1997 by Enix, who would later merge with a company called Square to become Square Enix. You might have heard of this company. They're the creators of Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Dragon Quest. These are some heavy hitters in the JRPG scene. Final Fantasy X being one of my favourite games. I go back and complete it every couple of years. But Mischief Makers is a 2D side-scroller that utilised the newfound potential of the Nintendo 64 to deliver fun platforming with interesting boss mechanics. So let's kick this review off with the first heading, controls. When I first started playing this game, I actually hated the controls because it didn't utilise the analog thumbstick. It did the D-pad. You had to use the D-pad to run around. And at first I was like, oh, that's stupid, and I had to keep remembering to use the D-pad. But as I played through the game and I got used to using the D-pad, it actually made sense to why they were doing it. If you double tap in a direction, that's how you used your booster, which was a big feature in this game. And if they had done that on the analog, it would have taken too long to get that boost off, and it probably would have affected the gameplay negatively. So at first it was very janky, but once I got used to it, it was actually pretty easy to use and I really enjoyed it. So I think I'm going to give the controls a 7 out of 10. I think that's a solid score for what it is. I do want to acknowledge the fact that it is quite an old game. Like, it wouldn't hold up to like Hollow Knight today or anything of that stature, but given what it is when it was created, I think that's a solid score. I actually found the gameplay really fun in this. It was a basic system. It followed the same level world loop that Super Mario on the SNES did, but it offered a lot of variety of gameplay. There was a lot of puzzling and platforming, good boss fights were in it. I'll be honest, some of these boss fights I didn't exactly know what I needed to do to beat them right off the bat. And there was some red herrings as well. Like, bosses would throw out moves that you could grab onto, but it actually wouldn't lead to being able to hurt the boss. You really had to figure out the mechanics of the boss fight in order to be able to beat them. Some interesting little mechanics, like being able to pick up this random pot, put objects in it, and you could fuse those objects together to create another object. I think it was multiple flowers into a boomerang, and then you could mix multiple boomerangs into like a ninja star that you could throw at your enemies. And another perfect example of this is in some of the levels you can actually find a tricycle. And one level particular, that you can find a tricycle and it had like a jump, like a ramp that you could launch yourself off of. I spent about 10 minutes acting like I was Matt Hoffman doing tricks and stunts into this little down ramp. But that's just a perfect example of these fun little things that they add to the game that doesn't subtract, it just adds to it. So it was basic, but it was actually really fun. I had a lot of fun playing this game. So I think I'm going to rank this 15 out of 20. But before we go any further, friends, I'm trying to hit 500 subs by the end of the year. So if you haven't already, like, comment and subscribe. But make sure you do it, because if you don't, next time you have your hands full, you're going to have an itchy nose. Alright, time sink. So this game actually was really kind on your time. It had a really basic short story. It only took me about 6 hours to complete the game, and that's with dying, so you could definitely complete it a lot faster. But it also added this option that if you wanted to fully complete the game, you could go back and get all of the collectibles from each world. And if you did that, you're actually rewarded with this, I'm going to say, a good ending. It's an extended ending. So it was a nice, short, simple game, but if you wanted to spend more time on it, you could. For that reason, I think for time sink, I'm going to give this a 15 out of 20. And I just want to be clear, this is a good score. The closer you are to 20, the better the score is. So a real time consumptuous game, if that's a word, I don't think it is, would be rank 1. Now, story and world are going to do a lot of harm to the score of this game. The story is very basic. It was pretty much Donkey Kong if Mario was a robot and if Peach was Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z. Just this old pervy dude that you had to save every 2 seconds. Which, don't get me wrong, this isn't a massive letdown for the game. I wouldn't say, oh, don't play this because the story sucks, because ultimately it doesn't really matter. You're here to platform, you're here to beat bosses, and you're here to enjoy yourself, which is exactly what this game accomplishes. But unfortunately for story and world, I'm going to have to give it a 3 out of 20. And now for satisfaction. Would I say I found myself satisfied with this game? Well, I have to say that I'm a little bit biased. Because of my history with the game, being unable to complete it, going back and actually completing it, I actually had a lot of fun playing this, so my results might be a little swayed because of that, so I'll try to be unbiased. But I think this was actually a really satisfying game to play. There was good mechanics, good platforms, good boss mechanics. It was just fun and enjoyable and didn't drag on and waste your time. So I think I'm going to give it a 20 out of 30. I think that's a solid score. I did really enjoy it. So if we add all those scores up, it equals 60 out of 100. I feel like that's pretty accurate. I wouldn't really change that. I wouldn't say it was a just mind-blowing game. I think it was a good, solid, fun game to play. So if you haven't played it already, give it a try. It's a good one. And now to show off the fact that we've finished this game, we're going to add it to our thumbnail. This here is the little sticker that I made to show off. And I think we're going to stick it here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support and watching the video up until here. The next game we're going to be playing is Borderlands 4. So if you want to join us on that little adventure, jump over on my stream Monday 7 to 9 PM Australian Standard Time and Wednesday midday, so 12 o'clock till 2 o'clock. Again, really appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one.